All right, hello. All right, so I'm going to try and recreate David Guitarra's Titanium with Sia, and um, at the same time I'm going to go through the steps that I normally take when doing a project like this, which is going to be like a MIDI uh, conversion.
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say.
All right, so just by listening to it, there's a guitar in there. There's a delay. There's also an effect that's being controlled, uh, like where it comes in and out, like a reverb, reverse cymbal, and sounds like a reverse explosion of some sort. And so the first thing with a song like this is to try to get as close as possible to that guitar sound. So I'm going to just so I'm going to open it with a Digital Performer. Okay, so right now the instruments are just the standard Apple um, presets. They're not going to sound nowhere near as the same. Like that's pretty bad. Okay, so going on to the mixing board. First thing we do is automate. Okay, there's no volume automation on these tracks. All right. Um, so then I'm going to add. I'm going to add a master track first, and then I'm going to add the audio tracks. Okay, so these will eventually, they're going to line up. So the MIDI tracks are going to be turned into audio tracks. And then I'm also going to use a virtual instrument, okay, so that this doesn't, so this remains the constant. And also within here, I'm going to put my effects. So I'm going to start with my first virtual instrument. Usually I use is a Falcon. And then I'm going to put this on my other screen for now. And then the other one is Contact. And because there's lots of delay and effects, I'm going to add auxiliary tracks, at least 3. All right, so now I'm going to put the real guitar in one, and then the audio file right over here. I'll put it on bus 1 and 2, do the input. Okay. All right, a little bit better. Now, and none of these are marked as well, so I'm just going to highlight the ones I'm using, all right? And then, of course, they need to be mixing board. I can do the same thing here. And instead of real guitar, we're going to use the Real 8, which is electric guitar. And there's a bridge, not pinch harmonics, but there's muting here. So there's going to be a mute harmonics here. So I'm going to put that on, and it might be a little closer. All right. So again, not quite the sound, but I most likely will end up using my like a real guitar. I'm going to probably record this. Like I'm going to use the notes, and then I'm just going to grab my guitar right here, and then just record, because it's hard to do guitars. See, we're not even close. I'm going to stop the recording right now and try and lay down this track with my guitar and see if we can get close to it, and then move on from here. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I tried the acoustic guitar or the electric guitar, and didn't quite get it right. Then went back, made some changes to Real 8, brought it up an octave, and then put the bridge mute on, and just changed a little some of the notes. There was just this pattern here. I added this. And so we have this kind of sound now. Go to the mixing board. The input of the guitar is right here, so we just add an EQ. You know, and just boost it somewhere around there, just to get kind of into. Yeah, so it's something like that, and then there's also the ambience. So it's getting a lot closer. Going back to this guitar sequence, just gonna finish these notes, and then record the guitar parts, and then move on to the probably to the drums and bass. This is a signature part of the song, so this would start with first, because if I can't get this part down, then I wouldn't even waste my time trying to get the rest of the song, because if this part doesn't sound right, it's going to be immediately considered to be not a good song as far as I'm concerned, and everyone will notice it. So it's important to get this opening guitar lick properly, and now I'll just continue with that, and then I'll come back when I do the bass and the drums. All right. Okay, so for the bass, I went to this plug, so I can't even pronounce Zorzando, and selected the finger bass from this this sound font over here. These sound really nice. They got nice guitars and bass, and so I just picked this one here, the fingered bass, and then put a room plug-in right here. So it's like a speaker emulator with an 8x10, of course, and with the big sub kick and a faraway omni. Again, these will be adjusted, and then I just let's listen to it here. Now, and I'll just go ahead and just record the bass. I'm going to record it all the way through. But anyway, I'm going to record this for now, and then we'll come back and we'll do the drums. The drums will be interesting. Okay, so now the drums. Usually there needs to be lots done with drums. So through Audio Midi setup, I've got it going through the desktop PC. All right, and it's the latency is really quick. I have so the timing is not really an issue. And if it is, I can just adjust it. Now, so I have my screen capture over here working, and the drums, they're pretty complicated. Well, I shouldn't say complicated, but they're pretty involved. So here is it's a drum sampler in Reaper that allows me to control every parameter of the drums, and I also have Falcon loaded. Oops, right here with a built-in drum, like my favorite kit or whatever, and so I got this one, this one, this one involved here, and these sounds. There's a clap in there as well. I gotta probably raise the level of that clap, so you can barely hear it. And probably lower that. Let's see what's going on. So anyway, I'm combining the snare and the clap. Okay. And also at the same time, this drum kit is going to be going as well. So what I have is, this is the combination of the hi-hat and that's the kick, and well, the combination of both that I'm going at the same time. And then there's going to be, then it changes up over here, the beat. And so often what I have to do is select them all and then find the right spot for them. And then because I have two drum machines happening at the same time, I'll combine Falcon and to make them kind of sound decent. So I end up having a relatively powerful drum sound right here, and we'll just play it. So I have it looped, to work it out. So I'm kind of okay with this one. It sounds decent. And why is this? Shouldn't be recording. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead with. I think I'm just going to go ahead with this now. It's not unusual for me, like after the mix is out, to come back and to go and re-record these parts. So I may keep this drum set. I may not, but usually I'll go over it a second time during the mix. Because I have a lot of options here. I have a lot of different sounds I can choose from, and I like using this Reaper drum because I'm able to it's a real sample. It's very advanced, or it's very comprehensive, and it takes up a lot of resources. So that's why I don't run it on the same computer that I'm recording on. I have the same package on my laptop as well. So if I'm recording on the PC, I can do the same thing to the laptop, and they support each other that way through the network Midi. So I'm going to go ahead and record the drums. I'm going to turn the screen recording off because there's slight delays, or could be drop samples at this point. And so this is just how I'm going to be doing it, and I'll come back after with some of the other elements that need to be recorded. Now things are going to get interesting right now. So I got the drums more or less where I want them, and now is all the pads and all the synthesizers and all that, and I'm going to be using mostly Falcon for this. So I might add something like this. Now I have a lot of I just have a tremendous amount of range with this. Something along those lines. So we're coming along now. I'll just close off some of this stuff. Not using it. And here's the Falcon. Okay, so it just basically I'll be going through these different presets and and come up with something that's going to work. This is kind of like the fun part, hard part, whatever. But whether I'm going to continue and finish this off tonight, I'll maybe go a little bit farther. But I'm probably going to come back at it tomorrow with some fresh ears, and and just continue from there. Okay, so we'll see you in a bit. I'm getting to the end of the project here. Before mixing, anyway, I'm still going through different settings and different sounds. I got an interesting mix going on right now. I also have some pumping with the dynamics. So I've just added another track here. So I think this is the last one. So I've been using these tracks. Pretty funky sounding stuff. So I'm taking a track. Well, this one I'm not doing because it's the melody. I don't want the melody. Reverse, I've already got it. So the pad. This is the last one I just did right here. This is which is this track right here. So now we'll just go ahead and listen to it. I've got a lot of the tracks up right now. I've just been going one after another, so I haven't cleaned it up yet. But before I mix, I will change and place these and make it easier to access. But let's just play. So there hasn't been any mixing yet. This is just the only thing that's on there so far is just dynamics and an EQ over here. So it's going to improve quite a bit from this point. It's actually not too bad. It pumping there. I'm going to add one here as well. So basically a dynamics. And then I have bus 9 is what I'm using for the trigger. Just pull that down and just put this up relatively high. And then I just leave the attack because the actual note itself is defining the release. And the kick drum is it's right here. So we got pre-fade button right here, bus 9. And then it's not coming out anyway. It's just, well, I have it a little bit, but actually I had it muted. But anyway, it still works when it's muted because it's a pre-fade. All right. So yeah, there's going to be just some more mixing. I'm going to give my ears a break there. I've been at this for a while, and that's, you know, that's where it's at right now. We'll clean it up and we'll get back at it and do a good mix.